Good evening, everyone. The today's session is to start the introduction of the Data 650 class. We have all the students of the two sections all together. It's not by class, but it's not by section, it's by class. So the today host is myself, Elena Gorcheva. I'm faculty member since 2002 in the Master of Science in Data Analytic Program Director. My career has been in electrical and computer engineering, and I enjoy everything I have acquired as professional to deliver in the curricula and to prepare students for successful future career. With us today is Professor Ozan Oscar, who teaches the other section of Data 650. Ozan, can you say a few words about you?
Thank you, Professor. Hello, everyone. This is Ozan Oskan. I have been working for the university for, I guess, 6 years now. I have taught a couple of other courses as well. And I'm also working in the industry in a consulting company. And I'm teaching teams, coaching on a specific project management methodology, which is Agile project management methodology. That's it.
Great. And also with us is Yelena Batinskaya. She is our support for the software and the technology. Yelena, can you say a few words about you?
So do I need to introduce myself? Most of you guys remember me from Data 610, right? So I've been with the program for more than 13 years. I started in a GBST and then I transferred to data program. I have been many years. And one thing that I like to do is I like to tell you what not to do. So very often you're going to hear from me of what not to do. I know it sounds silly, but you're going to get some examples today. Okay? So I guess, Yelena, it's all yours now.
So I just want to point out that Elena is graduate from our graduate school, yeah. And she is very close to your need because she's, let's say, she has experienced in her shoulder exactly online education, the one you are pursuing now, and she's very close to your need, and whatever she's advising you, let me tell you, she's closer to you than we as professor. We are in other level. We try to teach you, to make you learn, but she's the closer one who understands exactly what you need. So keep close to what she's advising you. So the today agenda, we are going to do several things in this introduction section. And it's very important that we set up what we are going to study in this class. So that's why we are going to do very brief introduction to the big data concept, very brief key characteristic, and then the course interview, pointing to the expectation, which is very important. So you are aware what are the expectations from you in this class and how the help with the technology work. We will have a section of miscellaneous topic covered, and then the week one activity, and of course, Q&A. We are recording this session for everyone who is not able to attend, but you as an attendee directly in the section, you have the opportunity to ask questions immediately, let's say live, and get your answer in the today's session. So with no more, I'm proceeding to the first point of the agenda. You have heard about big data a lot up to now, but I want just to summarize the most important key point so you don't get diluted, because somehow many of you, when come to this class, feel there is no strict definition of anything. Well, this is kind of true, but there are several points we have to summarize. So in general, what we talk about big data is not just the data and the size of the data, is the technology related with this data, how we manage this data, what tools we need, what method we need to deal with big data, and of course, what skills as a data scientist, data analyst, you must have in order to be able to deal with this data. So the main point in summary, we have a discussion in the class, and portion of the discussion in this week is regarding what you understand the big data, the broad topic. So the broad, and I hope to hear a lot in class discussion. In summary, we can say that when data grow and get larger and larger, it becomes very difficult to use the traditional databases management tool like traditional Oracle database, relational database, and related to deal with data which include how to capture data, how to store, how to search and share this data. So when this point arises, we need new technology which require new data architecture, new tools, and new analytical method. So mostly we are going to follow all these key points, and of course, and with the skill needed as a data scientist, data analyst, to be able to deal with this issue of the complexity of data. So in summary, the complexity grows when we talk about big data, and the technology is needed to change to help deal with the different issues related with data in order to what? In order to get insight of data, which is the main objective of data analysts, data scientists. What you have to do, you have to get value from data. So everything is to this, let's say, to this outcome, how to get insight from this data and what we need in order to do that. So I have two slides here which summarize what you have learned up to here, what you have heard. And we're talking about volume, processing activity, complexity, and data structure. So these two slides are just to keep organized everything you have heard up to here, up to coming to this class. Just as historical slides, this one, reminding you how we were in the 90s in the relational database, how things grow in the 20th, and how in the 2010, company like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter produce so much data, volume of data, that the traditional database were not able to deal with this, and then appear what is the NoSQL key value database. And from there on, all the involvement, all the advancement in technology to deal with new challenges posed by the excess volume of the data and complexity. Is not just volume, is the complexity to deal with this type of data, because remember, we're talking about in Facebook, in YouTube, in Twitter, of data which is not table organized data, is unstructured data. So that's why this is a very important slide here, which has the organization of different type of data in general. We can say that the simplest way we deal with data is the table, when the format and the structure of the data is well defined. This is the top of the pyramid, which are the structured data. But as a data analyst, data scientist, you should be aware that this is the less volume of data which you have to deal in structured form. most of the data are either semi-structured, quasi-structured, and most of them are totally unstructured, not structured at all, like textual information, video, images. All this is totally unstructured information, and is the big chunk of data which you as a data analyst, data scientist will have to deal. So the simple thing is on the top of the pyramid, and the most complex data is in the bottom. And it's most of the data which today enterprise, any company wants to deal with the information hidden in text, in video, and images. So that's why we are going to talk a lot about unstructured data in this class, because the thing is not the volume, the thing is the complexity of the data and the complexity to deal. Of course, in the middle, in between unstructured and structured, we have some type of semi-structured like XML tile data, or the click data, web click data, which are quasi-structured, which is a little less, let's say, less complex to deal with free, the way we deal with free text. I mean, quasi-structured, semi-structured, they are some kind of structure, and we have different approaches to deal. So my suggestion is this slide and the following one, which has several examples of structured, semi-structured, quasi-structured, and totally unstructured data. So you have to understand that you have whatever project or task you approach, you have to understand what type of data you have to deal, and then you have to select the appropriate approach to deal with this data. That's why I'm suggesting every time you are going to approach a project, go to these two slides and they say where you stand and what you have to do in order to get insight from this type of data. You don't have to go with the very complex approaches to deal with text data if you have quasi-structured data. So that is the point. You don't have to always go to the most complex analytical approach to deal with your data. And that's why it's very important you are aware of what type of data you have to deal with. As I mentioned, the most challenging to deal is with unstructured data, and from them, what we have everywhere today is the free text, the natural language processing. And why it's so important that you understand that this is quite complex. I have an example here, which is just showing you without any theoretical approach why it's so difficult to deal with free text. It's very easy to say, well, there is not structure, that why. It's not just because there is not structure. There are a lot of complexity in syntaxes and semantic in context. So that's why when we see expression, the one which I have as bulleted point, 6 bulleted point, let's pick one. Why do we fill in a form by filling it out? I mean, this is not, at first glance, it's not easy to understand our language, right? So you understand that this complexity has to be introduced in the method and approaches we deal with this data in order to understand what we can get from there. So here I try to present in the bottom the way you can present some expression, which is unstructured data, which is if leadership is an art, then surely Jack Welch has provided himself a master painter doing his tenure at General Electric. So you understand this is natural language. And if you present this in structured form, would look like a table like this, but the context is lost. You cannot, if you try to present unstructured data in the form of structured data, the context and the nature of the data hidden in this expression, portion of it is going to be lost. So it's very nice to have table structure, but the approach to deal with textual data is not to put it in structured form. They are different approaches. You already work in data 630 in other classes a little bit with text data, with some simplest approaches, and we will deal more in this class since we are talking about since we are talking about the most, let's say, the most wide used data in big data class, which is textual and other unstructured data like video. So going forward, in the context of big data, we must understand that the today topic, which is all over AI, is directly related with data science and with big data analytics. And here this slide presents this relation. What is the contemporary AI? Let's put it this way. Contemporary AI is, let's say, is a computer program approach which try to mimic intelligent human activity. That is in general the definition of artificial intelligence. But in this case, today, we are talking about not general artificial intelligence, which can work itself. We are talking about human-like intelligence, I mean, tasks which can be solved by a program, but they are in support to the human and to enhance human capability and decision making. It's not to make decisions themselves. We are not talking about artificial intelligence which will create and make decision itself. We are talking about contemporary AI which will help, let's say, insurance company in dealing with insurance claim, will help development of vaccine or different medication to treat several disease using machine learning and data science approaches, but the final decision is by human. We are talking about artificial intelligence which would help a doctor in the diagnosis and the treatment for a patient, but proposing different, let's say, variant, but then the final decision is from the doctor, is not from the artificial intelligence. So that is what is the contemporary AI, and it's directly related with what we study in this program and specifically in this course, because the contemporary AI was the result of the advancement of big data, which empowered machine learning algorithm to be more useful, because if you train the model with more data, you get more precise in general. You can adjust more precise and responsive machine learning model to predict certain event. So this involvement, this intersection of big data, machine learning, and the definition of classical AI portion of it is to mimic some human capability. This intersection is what is the contemporary AI, and you understand that machine learning and big data are portion of this contemporary AI. So that's why we will be talking about a lot of AI in this class, because this is the natural evolvement of big data to empower machine learning and to solve portion of the artificial intelligence task in the realm of contemporary AI. So don't get surprised. And here I try to make the point, make sure you discuss this as much as you can in class so we get better clarity, because it's not simple in 5 minutes to explain the complexity of this topic. So this is just like an introduction, opening the door for our discussions in this class. And I don't want that anyone is surprised why we are talking about AI in this class. This is what it is about. And that is the way all the topics have evolved, from big data to machine learning and to contemporary AI. So just to clarify a little bit more where each of these concepts and how they are related is this diagram. So the big topic is artificial intelligence, where machine learning is sub-branch in the artificial intelligence, because machine learning is one of the widest used tool today for artificial intelligence. That's why if you read today, even machine learning and AI, they are used like indistinctly, even though they are not the same thing. Machine learning is just a subtopic in artificial intelligence. And I can tell you today, this is not wrong. Why? Because even though machine learning is just a subtopic in artificial intelligence, it's okay to use them indistinctly. Why? Because today we talk only about contemporary AI. And actually contemporary AI is machine learning. That is what is contemporary AI. We have, of course, much more than contemporary AI, because the main goal of AI is to mimic intelligent human activity. But today, what is solved, what is established, what is implemented is mostly machine learning, even though they are different branches, let's put it this way. Of course, deep learning, you already know, you have been in data 640, that is just subtopic in machine learning. And data science is more than this. We are talking about data science is not just machine learning. You know, you studied other classes, you have to deal with data from definition of the problem. You have to go in data science to define a problem to solve, select the data, explore data, visualize data. So data science is more than machine learning. And then after that, you decide, in order to build predictive modeling, which machine learning approach you are going to use. Build the model, tune the model, evaluate the model, and all this. So data science is not just machine learning, and you already know that, because you are already almost at the end of the program. So the machine learning part started in data 630, but everything else you studied in the program in 610 and 620 is part of data science, but it's not machine learning. So that's why I try to clarify, we already have reached in this program the point where you are well prepared to get clearer view to this concept. So having said that, we have to go how to deal with big data and how the data storage and manipulation to deal with big data have evolved from spreadsheet to data warehouses to analytical sandbox and to what is the contemporary big data approach. So let's say we have the traditional approach where the business user would go to the IT department, will present the structure, the desired data structure, for answering the business question, and we'll ask IT to build the data warehouse. Then the user will run a report and will have the result required by the business department. And the IT department may take between 3 and 6 months to build this data warehouse. The contemporary approach to deal with big data is totally different and is presented to the right hand in this slide, which is you have an infrastructure which you have a platform which contains all different tools which you as a data scientist, data analyst may need. You have storage of data, you have streaming analytic, you have engine to deal with the big data. So IT department will deploy a platform with all technology a data analyst, data scientist may need. And today it has evolved that this platform actually is not hosted in the enterprise, is hosted in the cloud, and somebody else is managing this platform. That is the contemporary approach to solve problems when we talk about big data. And that is the approach we are going to use in this class. So instead that as a data scientist, you go to IT and ask for specific structure to organize your data, you have as a data analyst, data scientist, everything in your account, and you pick up what you need in order to solve this specific problem. You go to the cloud and you select the services and the data storage and organization and management, which you need, even NoSQL database, Hadoop storage, an engine like Spark, and then you do your analytics for solution of the problem you have at hand. So totally different approach. And moreover, today, this is in the cloud. And of course, we are going to work in the cloud because this is the requirement in the industry. This is what you are going to find in your job. And that is what we are going to prepare you in this class. Most of the things, let's put it this way. You have worked with Python, with R up to here, and you have this software. This is open source, the most widely used languages in data science and analytics. But since everything now is in the cloud, we will use even version beside the engine like Spark to deal with big data. We are going to use these languages and we are going to use in the way they are used today in industry, in the cloud. So you will have to learn new approaches based on everything you know up to here. So in this class, we are teaching new stuff, but we are using everything you already have learned. This is, let's say, like a prerequisite. You must know everything on before. You must know how to build machine learning model. You must know how to tune the parameter, and then how to evaluate the model. In addition to that, we are going to learn how to deal with big data in the cloud. So this is in general what I wanted to say regarding the topic. Very quick introduction to the topic in this class. And then let's go to what are the expectations and the organization of the course. So the course is project-based, competence-based, like all other courses in the program. You will have 4 major assignments and 4 online discussion. But these 4 major assignments, in order to do several of them, 3 of them, you will have some small walkthrough kind of assignment to do. in order to open the big one. Why? Because for each of them, you will have to study different technology. So the first part, let's say assignment number 3, you have to do something before the major assignment open. You have to learn how to work with the technology for this assignment. So don't get surprised that you have some assignment which have conditional, and you don't see them until this condition is met. And why is this set up this way? Because without knowing the minimum of the technology, you are not ready to approach the major assignment. And this is done for the benefits of the student. We don't want student to fail. We have organized this in the best possible way to learn as much as possible and to succeed. That's why you will have this precondition in assignment 2 and 3 in order to get to the major assignment. So I want to tell you that in general, you have to be proud that you are in this program, because up to now, we are not like the subject of data science is quite recent. We are a relatively new program. We started in 2013, and we already have several recognition, like award from organization, student winning competition, and teams which competed in competition with more of 200 teams internationally and ranked in the first, second, or third place. So we are very proud what we are preparing in this program, and you should feel the same way. This is just for your information. So here is a summary of the schedule, which is in the syllabus, and why I'm presenting this schedule here. You can see it in the syllabus, right? The thing is that I want to point out that session like this, which is live, we're going to have several times in the class, and this is in the last column. We are naming them walkthrough session or question and answer to help you, because these assignments are complex, because in each of them you are going to study new technology. In the first one, is not, let's say, you are not going to do real implementation. You are going to do only pseudocoding. But the second, the third, and the fourth one, you are going to work with real technology. You will have to learn new technology. So we will have what is named Spark walkthrough for in-memory analytic and technology with sentiment analysis, and walkthrough in what is services for cognitive analytics. In addition to this, we will have a session on question and answer in one of the more complex assignment in this class, which is the machine learning part, which is assignment number 2. So that's why I'm presenting, and then you know what we are talking about. And here you can see in what is graded assignment, you will see that there are more than 4. Why? Because assignment 2 has 2 portions. Precondition is the tutorial. Until you submit the tutorial, you don't see the assignment 2. The same with the sentiment analysis. You have tutorial. The tutorial have to be submitted in order for you to see what is in the assignment 3. So you know the minimum. We are making sure that you have learned the minimum needed in order to approach the assignment. And with this psychology, with this organization, I want to stress that is very important. Don't jump directly to the assignment. Do the reading. So when you do the practical thing, you understand what you are doing and why you are doing this, and you don't get confused. And this is the best advice I can give you. It's not only because this is the best way to learn, but it's because everything is so complex. We have so many stuff in this class, and we have selected just the minimum possible to get a splash of what is important in big data analytic class. So that's why, in order to be successful, I know many of you are tempted, and I've seen this because I've been teaching this class for quite a bit, and I have observation. Students are tempted to jump directly to the assignment because at the end of the day, I'm graded in the assignment. Nobody knows how much I read. Well, I can tell you, this is relatively, it's not that nobody knows how much you read. The thing is, if you don't read the reading, you don't understand. This is just totally disorganized, and you are going to get confused. You are going to get, I haven't seen successful student without reading the assignment. So I know you are tempted to go directly to the assignment. I know that. I understand why, because it's the grading, but you're not going to be successful this way. Believe me, and just try your best to complete the reading and then go to the assignment. So here is the summary of the main assignment. Again, assignment 2 has tutorial, assignment 3 has tutorial, which has to be submitted before the major assignment. And I would like to give the word to Professor Ozan to talk a little bit more about different expectation of this class related with grading and timely assignment. Ozan?
Sure, Professor. Thank you. So, Professor, you definitely pointed very important parts, but like I would like to say, announcements are very important in the class. They are providing a lot of details, also very important points in the announcements. So make sure that you don't miss any announcement. You read all of them. Also, discussion boards has very useful information. Besides posting your own discussion boards, make sure you read your friends' posts as well, as much as you can, as many as you can, and try to respond as many as you can, interact with other people so that you can learn from other people as well. Also, Professor, right before the major assignments, Yelena will have some walkthrough sessions. In these walkthrough sessions, Yelena giving very important tips, demonstrating another examples. Also, she's mentioning very important points to follow, specific to that assignment or specific to that software. So you don't have to join to the live session, but make sure you definitely watch the recording. That's all I have.
Perfect. I think the next one is Elena to talk about a different thing related with technology. One is the textbook we are using here, which you will see in order to access this textbook, which are from O'Reilly, you have to log in with as a student. So in the link, you won't be able to read directly the book. You have to log in with your student login at UMUGC. And then this is the process here. You will find it in the classroom. Just make sure you follow the process and everything will be fine. Elena, I am giving the word to you. You have to continue here.
Yeah, for this week, there are like a couple chapters that you need to read. And the good thing is that this is this book was written in 2021. It's the latest and greatest, but it's available in our library. So what you need to do is you need to click on that link, right? And it's gonna ask you to select your institution. You're gonna select not listed, click here. And after that, you need to enter your email address that ends with student.umgc.edu, right? Or if you are also a faculty, you could put your faculty email, right? Then you will be allowed to proceed to the chapter. So we have like couple chapters in this module, and then there will be several chapters in weeks 3 to 4, I think. Yes.
Yes.
So, so any questions about that? That's good. Yeah, so now we move on to the next slide, Ilana, please.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
this part is in the classroom. This is called help with technology software. And at this point, I think it should be familiar because we've been using this approach for several semesters, right? So what you'll need to do is, well, I forgot to edit the second sentence. Lineage is no longer supporting this course, but what will happen is that when you need assistance, right? And some of you already submitted a couple tickets that we addressed. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on the here thing, and it's gonna open the form for you to fill out, right? On the next page. So please make sure that you select the last option, virtual lab support. Because if you select the wrong option, this is what's gonna happen. There are thousands of cases in Salesforce per day. It's everything, starting from financial aid to advising, etc. So if you don't select virtual lab support, your case is going to go to the wrong team. And then you will end up waiting for some of the back and forth, internal back and forth, until your case is transferred to the right people. So please make sure that you select the correct case type, which is virtual lab support, the last one in the drop down, right? Otherwise, oops, what happened?
No, I was
No
moving.
problem, no problem. Okay, another thing is that make sure if you are getting an error, you need to submit the steps to reproduce, and please kindly include the screenshot of an error message, because the better you can describe the issue, the faster I'll be able to help you. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No problem. It's the case most of the time, right?
So here, very important that you put data 650, because if you put something different, it's not clear where your ticket is going to be. Okay.
Yes, and we have a lot of filters set up. So if you put the wrong course, it's gonna go to the different TA. Okay.
And they won't be able to help.
Right. Exactly. Then we're gonna have internal conversation before it comes to me. Yeah. Well, let's say this way. Long story short, to get your assistance faster, you need to follow the instructions to submit the ticket, and I'll get to you as fast as I can. And the tickets will be answered in the order that they were received in the right queue. Okay. So sometimes you might be wondering why it's been a day nobody responded to my ticket. Well, ask yourself if you submitted it right, and if you think you have, give the ticket number. I'll be able to find your case if you have a valid case number, okay? So every time when you tell the instructors that you submit the ticket, never heard back, please provide the ticket number. Because when you have a ticket number, I can use it and find your ticket, okay? I'll find, and if it went to the wrong queue, I can find it, I can steal it, so to speak, and take care of it, okay? Deal or no deal? Yes or yes? Okay. So here are just a list of technologies that you're gonna use in this course, right?
And then you understand why it's so important you read everything and you follow, because it's too much.
Yep. We try to put in bullet at least whenever possible. Yeah.
And in the code.
Yeah. The first assignment, right? You need to create your IBM Cloud account, right? So IBM Cloud platforms that you're gonna use. One thing that is please pay very close attention to instructions. There are 3 steps that you need to do. First step, you create a trial account, right? It's 29-day trial. That's the first step, but you're not done after that. You're not done. What else you need to do is you have to obtain the 25-character code, and you need to apply that code. And that will give you access for half a year, right? So if you're a student, it gives you access for half a year.
6 months.
6 months. Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, actually through the end of June. It does not matter when you obtain the code. It matters when the code was actually generated. So if you apply today or if you apply tomorrow, you're still gonna get access through the end of June. And after that, you'll need to get another code and apply. But here is a little trick here. After you apply the code, sometimes the number of days on account does not update. Well, it updates, but you don't see an update on the screen. The screen still shows that you have 29 days, even though the code is applied successfully. Well, what you need to do is you need to log out, log back in, and then you're going to see correct number of days. Or for me, in my case, I was able to get away just by refreshing 3 times, I think. I had to hit refresh a few times and then it did it. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the screenshot that you need to submit. Once you apply the code, you have to see how many days, you have to see the number of days on your trial account should be through the end of June, okay? So not 29 days, because this is what's gonna happen if you don't get the code. After 29 days, your account is going to expire. And when this happens, there is no way in the world to bring it back. You're gonna lose the work. Unfortunately, that's what's gonna happen, right? So here is what not to do. Number one, what not to do. Do not let your IBM Cloud account expire. See this, right? It's in there. Then there is a big picture of credit card crossed out. Please do not enter your credit card in there, okay? Please do not put your credit card information in the IBM Cloud, okay? And please do not, well, some people do it by accident. Try not to deactivate your account. Do not let account expire. And please don't submit the tickets to IBM unless I tell you to do that. Most of the time I will not, okay? Now, remember that most of your assignments cannot be done in one sitting. So please do not wait until the last day to start. And what I have something, there is something, the strategies that I call it 24-hour rule that I try to live by myself. Whenever you have a date, whenever you have something due, you want to try to finish it 24 hours ahead of the due date. Do you know why? Because you want to try to avoid the last minute disasters, if you will. You know, sometimes on the last minute you lose internet connection, you lose power, right? We get winter storm, for instance, we get a lot of power outages, or the service could go down for the maintenance, etc. You want to avoid that, right? So you want to make sure that you have your work done on time, because the work in this class piles up in no time, right? So try to finish it 24 hours before it's actually due. So that way you have some time. Okay, so this is a 24-hour rule, I call it. Please do all of the ungraded exercises. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a secret, but please don't tell it to anybody who is not watching this recording or not attending this session. I'm gonna tell you, there's a little secret here, but instructors, please don't kill me if I tell this. Okay, you're gonna see sometimes, like today, in today's week, for example, there is an ungraded exercise, right? Tomorrow, right, maybe in the next module, in a few weeks down the road, you're gonna see a similar question that is graded. Yes, ungraded exercise may come up as a graded exercise in the next assignment, but shh, this is a secret, okay? Don't disclose it, please, 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 okay? I never told you that. Now, yes, you want to read all course announcement daily. I would say set up the notifications. There is a way to set up to receive the notification each time the announcement is posted, each time somebody responds to in a discussion, or each time when instructor posts your grade. You can do yes. Oh, another thing is that please make sure that your email in the classroom is an email that you check, and your Salesforce email is up to date, because what happens was when you submit the ticket, you're gonna get a response from the and the email, the email will be from the help desk, not necessarily from me directly, but well, it's me, but email address in the from is gonna be from the help support, right? But make sure that you're checking your email, right? And another thing is that there is a policy where if there is no response from a student to a ticket for like a couple days, the ticket will be closed. So please make sure if I give you the solution, if the solution resolves the issue, let me know, so that way we can close the ticket. Otherwise, if you don't respond, I would have to report this to instructor. Yes, I'll have to report this to instructor, and we go from there, right? Your ticket will be closed, and well, that's not good. It's always good ticketing etiquette to respond, okay? So let me know if it did or not. Oh, well, here, this is just a little guide where to post the questions. Well, one thing that you don't want to put in a classroom is confidential questions, confidential that only you and the instructor need to know. One example could be reasonable accommodations, right? That stuff that goes straight to instructor, not in the classroom, not in Salesforce, right? Then there is in a classroom, you see a separate discussion if to report any broken links, as you know, things happen, right? Web pages are subject to break. Any questions about due date, go to the instructor. Salesforce is more like technical stuff, code errors, things that may involve troubleshooting, or sometimes somebody need to sit down with you and do a screen share session, right? No, that stuff, that's what TA is for, to sit down, you know, and to help you, to assist you. If you have questions on the data that you're asked to use, any major technical issues too. Well, some issues cannot be addressed in the classroom because, well, even if the solution resolved the issue for your classmate, it does not necessarily mean that the same solution will resolve your issue because, well, there are sometimes even if you get almost the same error, there are different causes of an error. So, well, I know it's really complicated, but some questions you need to submit the Salesforce case and I'll work with you. Okay, and another thing is this. If you are submitting the Salesforce case secretly, you are documenting that you're doing the work on assignment. Because sometimes a student comes to the instructor on a day when assignment is due and reports having the technical problem with doing an assignment. And guess the first thing what instructor is going to do is that ask if you submitted the case and what is the case number, and we'll go check with me, right? And I'm gonna say, wait a minute, this student didn't submit any cases. It's like, oh, surprise. So it's not clear if you're not submitting the work because you waited until the last minute to do it, or if you really had a technical problem, if you were working with a TA. You're safer if you were working with a TA, trust me. And if there is an issue that I cannot solve, then trust me, it's not going to have a negative impact on your grade. If there is an issue that is beyond my control, that I cannot solve, right? It happened before. Something happened totally beyond our control. You're going to be given the workaround solution and the instructor will know, okay? And it will be documented because there will be a case number. On the other hand, if you don't submit the case number, and then in the end you tell instructors that you could not get something done because you ran into a technical issue, this is not good, okay? Okay. I guess, I don't know, Gilan, do you want to add something to it?
Yeah, go ahead, Anna.
No, I'm asking you if you want to add something to it.
No, I don't want to ask. I just think we should give the floor to the student to ask questions.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. Well,
because I'm here is not only we talk, but they can ask questions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I just said too many secret information.
Let me open the chat. I don't see anything in the chat. So you either post your question in the chat or you unmute yourself and speak. I see something. The slide, yes. I'm going to say, so what we are going to post tomorrow is the recording and the slides. And keep in mind, everything is posted, these things are posted in the announcement. And what I heavily suggest, you set up your notification. How to set notification is easy stuff in Leo. You can set up different level of notification. So you know that something new happened in the classroom and you are constantly updated, that new announcement, that you were graded, that answered to your pause, somebody answer it. So all this has notification level, and I heavily suggest you do that. If you opt to go to the classroom frequently and then check, it's up to you, but I would use the notification. Any question related with the subject, with what we are going to do, with the expectation? So in the meantime, you think about what else you would like to ask. I want to point out that since this is almost at the end of the program, the expectation are that everything you studied, you can apply in this class. So you write a report of what method you used, what result you obtain, what are your recommendations, and it is very important, your discussion on what you are doing, what you find out. So all this justification of your result recommendation should be very well articulated. If you aim for an A, that is the mandatory stuff. Roxana is asking how is gonna keep her account. Just IBM Cloud account to keep. I assume you are asking about this account. Yes, yeah, you just are going to go to the second part of the instruction, and you are going to apply for a new 9-digit code, and you will apply this code after June for the second half of the year. So the codes are for half of the year, not for 6 months for you. Codes are January to June, and then July to December. So somewhere end of June, the new code will be available, and you go ahead and you do the same thing, and you are all set until end of December.
Yeah. Do it for as long as you have a student email active. Yeah, you have a student email active.
I think this is Roxana of my class. Roxana, you haven't responded my email. Is something? Okay, I will send again.
I'm gonna check. I'm looking at this.
And somebody in my class, I'm receiving a return. I don't remember who is. But the thing is, I cannot contact him by email because I'm receiving this email doesn't exist. So guys, please make sure you have the updated email address in the class.
Yeah. Or if you could try kind of like emailing yourself, see if that works.
No, one in my section I'm receiving email doesn't exist. So I don't know how I'm going to contact this student.
Oh, is it because you UMUC.edu versus UMGC.edu? Because UMUC was turned off. It's not working now. UMGC works only.
I don't know what is the issue. I didn't look what exactly is the email address. So.
Oh. Yeah, so guys, please make sure that you have an email in the classroom that works and that you check. All right, and also Salesforce.
Yeah. So these are two different things. Nobody is forcing you with email to be listed in the classroom.
Yeah, but
you use the email, you are checking frequently. But for the IBM account, in order to get the free access, you need to use student@umgc.edu, no other email. That is mandatory. For the IBM Cloud, you have to use your student email.
Oh, well, another thing is this. That's what I have seen. When I'm working on a case, right, responding to the student, and it sends an email, but sometimes I get a warning that the student opted out from the Salesforce messages. So please make sure that your email is not opted out from receiving emails from Salesforce, okay? Because that could cause a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they are tossed in the spam because they don't have the required setting.
So basically, I would say, well, you submitted the case, you did it correctly. So look for it. I try to respond as fast as I can, as fast as I can, usually same day, unless you did not follow the instruction and the case went to the wrong queue. Then it's a problem, right? Mhm. Oh, and another thing is that when I click reply in the Salesforce, it's gonna go to email that you provided at the university. Well, it automatically picks up an email that is there. So if this is an email that you're not checking, well, make sure that you're checking the email, let's say. That is in Salesforce. And if you're not sure which one, I can look up your name and tell you which email address you have in the Salesforce. That's easy to check for me. Okay.
So I see a student saying that IBM keep kicking me out at the last step. Well, open a ticket detail and I have no other suggestion.
Yeah.
Look, nobody is a wizard here. You have to provide a screenshot and you have to open a ticket, and if needed, you will get, but nobody just, oh, it's kicking me up. There can be many, many different reasons.
Because, I mean, several things that I'm thinking about, maybe you are trying to apply the code to expired account. You cannot do that, right? Or maybe you are using the wrong email, something like that. Things happen. I don't know what you're trying to do.
No, he's asking me to create an account. Well, the first step in the instruction is to create an account. You create your IBM account. It's a trial account for 29 days. And after that, you go to the academic initiative city and you apply for the 9-digit code to get 6 months.
And
so the 6 months, you are not gonna get there if you don't have IBM account. So when you go to obtain the code, you need a cloud account first.
Okay, well, the last part is the part where you apply the code, right? And
open a ticket.
Yes, and
the way we describe it, and you will be helped, Patrick.
Yes, like which step? Because the last part it has multiple sub steps. Okay, and I really
open
need
a
to see
ticket
what you're
and
trying
give a
to do.
screenshot. Yeah.
Oh, see this? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
354 days on your IBM Cloud account. Oh, really? I need to check if something was changed because
well, maybe he has faculty. If he has a faculty email, yes.
What email did you use to get the code? Because
maybe
if you
faculty email.
If you student? Oh, really? So now is it now given for a year? See, I have to check. This is new to me. Well, it does not matter, but you're covered.
That's good. Say thank you. That doesn't. That's good.
I don't know if it does, but
usually, but they are changing policy. Usually, they were giving 1 year to instructor, faculty email, and 6 months to student email. Maybe they change it, but I have no meaning to check this because I don't have student email.
Yeah, exactly. So one way to check is to see what the students are submitting. The thing is, there are multiple reasons.
Okay, I'm going to look in the assignment folder.
Yes,
but
but
I do believe you.
Yes,
I do believe you.
Yeah. But one thing I need to tell you is that people, if you had a past IBM Cloud account and if it expired, then you need to talk to me. I'll tell you what to do. There is a nice workaround for that. But you cannot apply the code to the expired account. No. And another thing is that when you create in your trial account, please make sure that on that page it says 29-day trial. Make sure that it does not say something like $200 credit something. No. You want it to say explicitly, okay, 29-day trial. Because if you don't do that right, then you get the result that you do not expecting to get. So But see, this is what I was just saying now. It's a speculation. It's based on what I have seen before. But it's hard to tell why is it kicking you out. I don't know. Well, I have seen it kicking people out for multiple reasons. When the account is expired, then that's it. Yeah. So yeah, you have to submit the ticket because I'm trying to guess, but so how many people say? Oh yeah. This is another good. Oh, speaking of that, sometimes if you're trying to do the work in your employer network, some sites could be blocked because of the security policies. Sometimes you might not be able to access this. You might not be able to get the code if you're connected to the work network. So when you are getting the 25-digit code, please make sure you're not connected to your employer VPN. Okay, you won't be able to get the code. So that's one reason. One common error from last semester. Okay.
Well, I see the screenshot of Michael in my class, and it's in fact 354 days.
Excellent.
Well, great, congratulations.
Well,
You say, we don't know why, but doesn't matter, nothing wrong.
well, it's an icing on the cake, right?
Mhm.
Well, that's good. I mean, okay. I mean, 1 year is better than 6 months, but okay. But 29 days is definitely not going to cover what you need. So, and if you forget to, if you don't apply the code, then your account will expire. And when it happens, you're going to lose all your work. And right now, there is no way to reinstate the expired account. Okay. There's no way. So you want to make sure it does not happen. Okay. Yeah. But if it gives you 4 years, then I'm happy, and your data 670 TA will also be happy. Yeah.
Anything else?
Oh, I see something in the chat I need to read.
No, I don't see anything new. Everything is fine.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, no problem. So, well, and you can keep getting the code. I would say like every half a year or every year, whenever it is. While you still have your account, you still have your student email. You just go get the code. They're not gonna go to your enrollment records and check. They don't do it. What they do is they just check that email address ends with student.umgc.edu and that it's a valid email, because see, the email is sent to you, right? And there is a code that you need to enter, right? So they check if the email is valid. They're not checking the enrollment. Another thing, I never told you that. See, too many secrets, right?
Well, if there are not more questions, as you know, this is not the first, not the last session live. We're going to have in a few weeks another one, and we are there in the classroom for any question. So just I want that everyone get excited and start reading and working in what we are supposed to do in this class and learn as much as possible. This is very exciting subject. And let me tell you, in the last few years, it has evolved to what is today everywhere, the type AI. And that is what we are studying in this class. Big data is the, let's say, the premise of the contemporary AI. If no more, I'm going to stop sharing and stop the recording is the next step, and wish you good evening to everyone.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Yelena.